And we on. What's happening, fam? What's good with everybody? MZ in the building, salute, bro. Gil Cole's in the building, salute, bro. Apex Legend Troll, salute, fam. We're gonna call you Apex. Apex, what's up? What's up with it, bro? D-Lo 44 Box and say salute, bro. I'm running on I'm gonna call you Apex. On end time. Hold on, y'all. All right, yeah, I was gonna say I'm running on end time, man. Had to feed the family, man. I ain't get done as quick as I would. So my bad, y'all. But anyway, what's good though, man? I put the link in the thing. Y'all want to get on and chop it up? Let me share it. Give me some time to share this video before we get into it. I also posted this week's schedule. It's Adrien Broner comeback week. Um, what else we got going? So if you ain't put your picks in or you ain't seen your results, those are posted too. We just gonna chop it up, man, for like an hour, man. I ain't trying to hold y'all. Definitely want to get on today though. Chop it up with the fam. I can't see the chat, y'all. I'm sharing this video real quick. But I'm gonna get to StreamYard or somebody over there. Just give me a minute. Give me 1 second. Stupid keyboard, man. Come on. Where the keyboard? There it go. Hey man, hope everybody been good, man. Wasn't able to get on the fights this weekend, man. Trey was out hanging out with his pops and shit. He definitely enjoyed himself, he said, and that's what's up, man. That's what's important. But Teofimo didn't put on a hell of a performance anyway. Wasn't like we missed out on anything. I think I came in somewhere around 12 this week, climbing my way up out that slump. You know what I'm saying? Slowly but surely. Slowly but surely. Joseph Brown, salute, bro. Joseph Brown got his schedule. There you go. Salute, bro. What's happening, Trey?
Salute. What's going down, bro?
Shit, just chilling, man. I running a little late. I had to feed the kids and my girl.
Yeah, what's up with everybody in the chat? What's going down?
Joseph Brown said he changed his schedule. He gonna be getting on tonight, Joseph Brown. We ain't gonna be long though. Probably about an hour, man. What's
Yeah,
going down with you, bro? You enjoyed yourself?
yeah. Everything good. Had a good time and shit. And the fights, they was on ESPN Plus, so I got a chance to glance at the fights and see what's going on at the same time. You know what I'm saying?
Hell yeah. That's what's up though, man. I was saying that's what it's all about. Joseph Brown in the building. Theo didn't put on no hell of a performance anyway, man. I'll give him like a B minus, B plus type of performance. Hope
What's
others able to touch him. What's good, Joe Brown?
what's cracking, man? It's been a minute.
Yeah, man.
Yeah, man. I figure I'd jump on for a little bit with y'all, man. I didn't get to see the TO fight at all. I didn't hear it was that great of a performance, but you know, a win's a win. He's been away for a while, and to get back in there and come away with a knockout, um, good for him to get back in the win column. We'll see, if he's all the call outs that he had for the division. We'll see if he gonna make good on any of those call outs. So
Talking about he back and shit, crying and shit. Bro, there's a champ. Salute, bro. What's happening? Hey,
Two-time champ salute.
what you think about his performance? Did you get a chance to see the fight or you watch the replay?
Yeah. I be feeling like a broken record and shit because I keep on talking about layoffs, but the man hadn't fought in like a year, so I didn't expect him to come out and look like a world beater right away. And plus, he moving up in weight. That's another variable. He going against a guy that looked pretty strong for the weight class too. You know what I'm saying? Like if you look at him at the weigh-in, shit, that motherfucker looks strong. I felt like he would get stopped though because he got stopped by a guy that was 11-8 before, so he got stopped by a scrub. You know what I'm saying? But I felt like he was gonna come and fight back and offer some resistance. I like that Lopez was able to get on the outside and box the motherfucker a little bit, and not just fight in the mid range like he normally do. You know, he like to fight in the mid range, like when he fought against Richard Comey and stuff, so he can be in that perfect range to time you and counter punch you. But this time he got more on the outside, boxed him on the outside and shit, showed a slightly different wrinkle. So I left feeling pretty good about it. I don't know if he gonna be the cream of the crop like the best in the division, but I think he'll a good fight for anybody. And I think he got action, you know what I'm saying?
Yeah, he definitely got the power, got some respectable power. That's what's gonna hold him. But I mean, his defense is not as sharp. His reflexes wasn't as sharp. But like you said, that probably was due to a layoff. I mean, old boy was catching it with some raggedy shit. But what was the fight at 140? He moved at the 140.
Yeah, that was his first fight at 140. So he coming off a layoff and he moving up in weight. You know what I'm
Maybe that.
saying?
Yeah, maybe that was the team.
Well, you got to understand the dynamics too. Like at 135, that's his entry weight division. So that's the division that he gonna have the most size advantage. Now he done moved up in weight, and the size advantage ain't there no more. These guys are bigger and stronger at this weight class, even though it's only 5 pounds. You're going against bigger and stronger guys.
Right.
So you know, it's gonna look a little different. The dynamic is gonna be a little different. He gonna have to adjust. Like it's gonna be an adjustment period. So where he adjusts to how he want to attack these guys and how he want to defend against these guys. You know what I'm saying? But I think he'll be okay. He got the amateur background and all that shit, 150 and 20, Olympian and all this stuff. He got a strong foundation.
Right. His counters was there, good, clean, crisp counters. He wasn't punching in between punches as normal though. Just a few things that I expected to see that I didn't see. You know what I'm saying? But
Yeah.
he did pretty good though for considering the layoff and moving up in weight though. I did not know that the fight was
And
at
plus, my bad, plus his opponent ain't coming off a layoff. His opponent been fighting here recently. I think he had a fight like back in April. You know what I'm saying? So his opponent was a sharpest version of himself, and Teofimo wasn't the sharpest version of himself.
right.
and not to mention, Tio, he, he's stepping into a division where they got some punchers. So we're gonna see if he can, take some of these shots from these guys who are bigger and stronger, and if his power is gonna really have effect on those guys once he get in the ring with him too. Um, this particular guy he was fighting, I don't think this guy had too much power. Did he? Did he have too much power, Trey?
Uh, shit, I don't even remember his knockout percentage, bro. It seemed like it was up there pretty good though.
Okay,
He ain't been
okay.
fighting no killers though. You know what I'm
Nah,
saying?
nah.
So when I looked at his schedule, like when I look at your schedule and I see who you've been fighting and I see people with double digit losses, I don't really pay attention to your power because you knocking out people that anybody can knock out. You know what I'm saying? When you start knocking out good fighters or you knock out fighters that ain't never been knocked out before, that's when I start but have fought against other good fighters. That's when I start taking notice of your knockout percentage and shit.
Say Broner ain't gonna fight. So we went down to 16 fights this week.
We went down to 15, man, and we had an extra to make 17 because we had the Andrew Tabiti fight that he took off. But yeah, man, that motherfucker Broner a trip, man.
What
I
happened? He
don't
moved
even.
down. What What I missed?
He pulled out the fight talking about his mental health ain't right.
Oh my fucking God. We all knew
Yeah.
that before the fight, Jamil. I'm trying to be funny though. He crazy.
Hey, when AB mental health been right at any point in his career?
Yeah,
Right.
that's what Figueroa was saying.
Winston Lee, salute, bro. That motherfucker been crazy, man.
Salute.
What the hell he talking about his mental health ain't right? All of a sudden he talking about his mental health, huh? Motherfucker, you been crazy.
Yeah, I know you can do it. Yeah, you can do it. Shut that soft ass shit up.
Yeah. That motherfucker had everybody fooled, man. He had me fooled. He had the odds makers fooled. They had him as a 2-1 favorite. He actually was almost a 2.5-1 favorite when it opened. So the odds maker was giving him a chance. He was at minus 240. Yeah, this motherfucker Broner a trip, man.
Motherfucker had me fooled like a motherfucker.
Shit, I
Hey,
was
I was
riding with
actually
it.
picking him. I was
Shit, I'm
picking him
riding with
too.
it.
Yeah,
Yo,
yeah, I was picking him, bro. I was picking him to win this fight.
Iceberg nerd, Iceberg Ian, salute, bro. What's happening? Salutations. Miss Lex,
Salute.
salute, sis. What's happening?
Salute. I thought she had a wrench. What's up to Miss Lex Lex? Iceberg nerd. Salute.
Let me go on over there and fix that. Hey, but
Maybe
yeah,
she
man,
got on a different account.
that motherfucker pulled out though.
Yeah, man, he pulled out and what's the name? He want receipts, but if I was him, I wouldn't even worry about that. You got to fight Lipinets. You better be worried about that.
But look, they fucked us on the channel Ross because we lost another fight because Lipinets is the replacement opponent against Figueroa. So
Hmm.
so that took 2 fights off the table. You see what I'm saying? So we went from 16 to 14 fights.
Oh, 14 now. Damn.
Yeah.
Tom Banger, salute, bro. What's happening?
Salute.
And we done dropped 2 fights now because this nigga Broner talking about his mental health. That sound like an excuse to me, man.
And we got a rematch and shit this week. So I'm not too happy about that shit. You know what I'm saying?
Motherfucker know he ain't win no fight. Talking about, I beat that boy. Y'all know I beat that boy. I don't know I beat that boy. Nigga, you wasn't crazy, nigga. You ain't nothing changed.
Hey, didn't they show a picture of him laying up in the hospital or something? They had AB laying up in the hospital, man.
Well, here recently for this pullout, I
Yeah.
ain't even see that shit.
I could have swore I saw a pic of him laying up in the hospital.
Man.
It was another account. Miss Lexi said she need one for this account. I went over there and had that. MZ Talk Boxing say shaking my head. So somebody ain't fighting, yeah. Rodex, the champ said, I'm thinking AB couldn't make weight. That probably was a reason. Cause I know it ain't cause he crazy for real.
But what weight class were they fighting at?
I think it was
One,
47, wasn't it?
I thought it
Yeah,
was too. The motherfucker can't make 47 now.
Man, that
bro,
motherfucker laid up too long, Trey.
bro, that man ain't been training. Trey, you could tell that man ain't been training. I think they show clips of him struggling. You know what I'm saying? Just to get back in the ring. You know what I'm saying? I think he had his chicken. I think one of his boys in the gym was making fun of him, saying his ass is just as big as his girlfriend's butt. You know what I mean?
Oh man, that's crazy.
I don't know about his backside, but I know that nigga neck and face was fat as a motherfucker on Instagram. You can tell
Man.
when this motherfucking ass ain't touched a treadmill or ran a mile in a minute. That motherfucker face started to get swelled like a pumpkin face, like his pops.
Hey, when we cutting bait, man, this might be the time where we just got to jump ship and just I can't fuck with Broner no more, man. I can't trust him at all.
Hey man, I think he know it. I think he knows the end of the road. I
And
mean,
then
at this point,
too many times to
at
say
at I mean, at this point, you got to look at it from the standpoint like PBC. They can't keep investing in this dude. You know, he gonna be pulling these kind of stunts. So I
that's
mean, the
real.
man was already complaining that he wasn't getting paid, and then they gave him a fight, try to put some money in his pockets, and you know, goes to show the nigga wasn't serious from the jump. So, you know,
Well,
I wish him all the best, man, you know. But I just the AB that we used to know is just not that guy. So
Eric R, salute, bro. Spirit of Justice, salute, fam. Yeah, you're right about that though, man. I mean, we've been saying it though, but as soon as they announce his opponent, you know what I'm saying, in his fight, depends on who he gonna fight if he do get back in the ring. If he
Yeah,
fight,
he might as well go the celebrity route at this point, man. Try to do the Jake Paul, Floyd exhibition type route. You
yeah,
know,
go on a world tour beating up YouTubers or something. Iceberg Ian say, I put my Broner Pro back in the freezer. That nigga was about to lose anyway. Apex say, yeah, Lip is a harder fight for Figueroa.
I
They
think
said,
he might have been more active and shit. I know that he more built for the type of fight that Figueroa want to fight. Lipmy is the type of guy that'll get in there and go toe to toe with you and fight you in the phone booth like he fought against Lamont Peterson. And this is a good throwback moment for your boy Trey Esther. That was one of them days that everybody picked Lamont Peterson, and I was the lone wolf picking Lipinets. Nigga, that shit was a long time ago, and I still remember that shit. Served that crow, some classical crow served on the corner. You know what I'm saying?
motherfucker ran
hey,
out of crow, man. Had to wait for the
shit,
motherfucking truck to bring
that
us.
boy, that boy Lippin has put hands, feet, and fucking 2x4s on fucking Peterson.
It was a
Uh,
good fight though, man. They were going back and forth, and just Peterson just kind of ran out of gas later on, and Lipin, yes, he penetrated the armor. You know what I'm saying?
yeah, broke him down.
Yeah.
Apex said, yeah, oh no, I read that. Roderick said, what fight are y'all calling this weekend? Shit.
Shit, I guess we get on that card, man. I still like some of the other fights that's on the card. So I think it's still worth calling. Like you
It's a
got
show.
that yeah, it's a Showtime card. They got them Dominicans on there. You got Hector Garcia, he the one that beat Little B Hop. They got him going against some guy's last name Gutierrez. I can't remember his first name, but he the champion. So this motherfucker Hector Garcia fighting for his first belt. I don't know if it's a main belt. It might just be like a regular belt or something. I don't know, but he fighting for a belt. He the favorite. And Alberto Puello, the one I told y'all about at 140, the Dominican fighter, he going against Batur Akhmedov, the guy that went life and death with Mario Barrios on the undercard for Sean Porter and Earl Spence. You know what I'm
D-Ray
saying?
Promotions in the building. Salute. What's good with it, fam?
Yeah, that's
Uh,
gonna be a good fight. Southpaw against Southpaw.
MZ said, that's on Showtime, right?
Yeah.
MZ said, we lost the Farmer fight, too. What, you pick Farmer, MZ?
I had Mickey Bay. I had took Mickey Bay, man, but they canceled the fight and shit because they say the promoter didn't have their money. But it
Oh,
was a shit show anyway, though, man.
Yeah, that shit look raggedy as hell, man. Like you see the camera angles and the camera work, like nigga,
remember
like
that
that
motherfucker?
shit.
Remember that
I
motherfucker?
ain't I ain't never seen no shit like that in boxing before. For that shit to be that janky, man.
Hey, Marlo, it was 5 times worse than that, bro.
Oh, okay. I was going to say, remember that motherfucker in the warehouse, in the Home Depot warehouse? Like, they put a whole bunch of lawn tables in the warehouse, bro. Had the scissor lift. I ain't never seen no shit like that. So y'all telling me it was worse than that?
Man, hey, bro, I tried. They had the link in the Discord, so I hit that shit to try to check it out. And when I hit it, I was like, oh, man, I'm too high for this shit, man, to be sitting up here going back and forth on this link trying to make it work. And then I'm sitting up here working to get into a shit show. I was like, nah, man, fuck this shit. I'm going to bed. I was tired anyway. You know what I'm saying?
Damn. D-Lo say, Trex, I'm going to need you to take yourself back up to the top. He said, I'm holding it down at the bottom. and I'm particular about who all hangs out down there with
Yeah,
us, with us too long.
I had a bad pick. Like it was this one fight that just kind of had me stumped. It was the Ferrer fight. I can't remember his first name, but Ferrer versus Velez. And Ferrer had the amateur background a little bit. He was a 2 on the pedigree scale. He was a New York Golden Glove champion. And Jason Velez, he had the stronger schedule in the pros, but he was taking losses, but they was to real good fighters. And BoxRec had him ranked way ahead of Ferrer. They had him ranked like number 80, and they had Ferrer ranked like number 260 or some shit. So I'm sitting up here with a dilemma, like a choice. Do I go with my amateur background like I normally do, or am I missing something? And box rec is where what I need to listen to, because this guy got more stars. He ranked ahead of the guy. So I rolled with Velez and didn't listen to myself with my normal amateur background shit and got the pick wrong. Cost me 17 points, you know what I'm saying? So that was just a tricky situation. If I would have made that one pick correctly, I would have saved my place at 12th place. But instead I fell down to like 23rd or something. But it's all good though, man. I'll be back. It's still early in the season.
Yeah, I'm like in number 40 something. I don't even remember. Spirit of Justice said AJ and Robert Garcia about to shock the world. That's another thing. Robert don't teach motherfuckers no footwork, no foot movement. So he's just gonna be basically standing in the pocket looking for counter punches and shit.
Hey,
Robert is a mid range counter punching. I ain't even gonna say defensive coach, but he ain't gonna teach you no footwork, no foot movement. What you can
the
say?
the problem is that the feints, like this nigga Joshua, don't even recognize the feints. He don't recognize the foot feint. I mean, Usyk was doing the same feint over and over and over again on this dude, and Joshua couldn't recognize it or be able to dissect it to do anything with him. Like it was right there. The straight right hand was right there for Joshua, but he could not take advantage of it because he could not get past the feint. Like that was the fight right there. And if he can't do that against Usyk, imagine if he get in the ring with Tyson Fury and all Tyson Fury's foot feints and lead feint. I mean, it's just going. I don't see him winning this fight. He can't solve that problem, and Robert Garcia is not going to help him out in that department because that comes with recognition. He's not recognizing what his opponent is doing in the ring.
Yeah,
You know,
he gonna have to get past the jab before he do all that. And when you think about a motherfucker like AJ going to Robert Garcia, it sounds like they planning on mauling Usyk. You know what I'm saying? That shit definitely not gonna work. It's gonna be like the Matador versus the Bull type of shit. You know what I'm saying? You're gonna get touch coming in there, and the motherfucker gonna step to the side on the motherfucking ass. He might give you something. Like, you know what I'm saying? You might end up in that motherfucker like Mayweather did Ricky Hatton. You feel me? Run into a check hook or something.
bro, and
Motherfucker,
he don't.
I actually disagree.
you think so? What, let me finish. I want to hear your take though, but I think it might be something like that, man. Because most of his fighters, man, besides Mikey, and this ain't AJ, do not have no IQ like Mikey. They all been mauled. You know what I'm saying? Get up in there and brawl, take some and give some. Get a motherfucker in the corner and force him to fight. I don't see AJ winning the fight with Usyk like that. But what you gonna say?
I went back and watched the fight again last night. AJ and Joshua. When I watched the fight early on in the fight, it was tactical.
You mean Usyk?
Um,
Usyk?
Usyk and Joshua. I watched it last night, and all right, early in the fight, it was tactical. You know what I'm saying? They both was like throwing one punch at a time for the most part, but Usyk had a slight edge on AJ. You know what I'm saying? So then, so I would say that's like the first 4 or 5 rounds. But then when we got to the mid rounds, I started seeing some shit. AJ started to figure him out, and he made that shit a lot more competitive. That's why at the end of the fight, Usyk face was fucked up too. They both was looking ugly after the fight. AJ was figuring out that rhythm. He was figuring out them feints. He even went to the body. That's like, man, I got so much shit in my head that I want to say. It's like I want to say it all at one time or some shit. You know what I'm saying? But it was one point in the fight. I want to say it was like the 8th round. AJ went to the body with a looping right hand for the first fucking time in the fight. Came back with the hook. Usyk didn't know what to do. Only thing he did was go straight back to the ropes. And AJ had him right where he wanted him, and he stopped in front of him and started pegging with one shot at a time and shit, like poking with one shot again instead of jumping on the motherfucker. You know what I'm saying? I think the blueprint to beat this Papachenko style is out there. If you go look at Derek Chisora, and that's why I say I disagree with what you said, Marlo, because I feel like Derek Chisora gave Usyk the best fight. Usyk beat him 115 to 113 on at least two of the scorecards. I think it might have been unanimous. All three cards had him 115 to 113. I might be wrong, but I think it's at least two of them. And Chisora jumped on the motherfucker, threw that looping right hand, went to the body with it, went to the head with it, just rushed in there, straight bull. I think that's what you need to beat the Papachenko style, like Orlando Salido when he fought against Lomachenko. And he kept on throwing that looping right hand, going to the body with it, bringing it to the head and shit, getting real physical with him, coming straight to him. And I actually like the Robert Garcia coach, because when we think about rematches, we have to factor in familiarity and motivation. Robert Garcia done been in camp with Usyk, so he got some familiarity right there. You know what I'm saying? And plus, I think that Joshua could benefit from a Mexican style type of influence. You know what I'm saying? 'Cause, you know, he done train people like Virgil Ortiz. He done train Jose Ramirez. You know what I'm saying? People that's gonna come to you and bring a physical type of style to you, because that's what I think that you need to beat Usyk. You don't need to be sitting up there trying to play chess with him. You need to flip the whole chessboard over, like I've been saying. Fuck playing chess with him. And you have to throw that looping right hand. You got to mix it to the body and you got to mix it to the head. You know what I'm saying?
But let's remember though, this guy is learning this, you know what I'm saying, in one camp session. This guy is a decent mid-range fighter, which is his best attribute. You know what I'm saying? He's able to throw a variety of punches from the mid-range. Inside, he is not too good and clever. You know what I'm saying? He try to sneak hooks in there like that. I don't see this dude being that close and able to have success against Usyk. You know what I'm saying? I just don't see it. Like him gaining that type of accuracy and comfortableness up in the pocket. You know what I'm saying? With an accurate puncher. With a slick motherfucker also though. You
Yeah,
know what I mean?
that's why I say in the mid rounds he already showed that though. You know
Yeah.
what I'm saying? Like he figured the style out. He started having success against Usyk in that fight. And you got to keep this in mind. Usyk is gaining weight for this fight. He bulking up for this fight. Usyk, if you look at his feints and shit early in the fight and compare his feints to the early, mid, and late in the fight, it's totally different. Early in the fight is real fast. It's real confusing. You can fall into the matrix. But once you get to the mid rounds, them feints start to slow down. Because guess what? Them feints cost energy, nigga. That shit ain't free. When you sitting up there with all that head movement, stepping over here, that shit costs energy. And if you gonna gain some weight, I don't think that's gonna be good. You might lose your speed advantage if you're gonna be bulking up for this fight. I think Usyk might be messing up in that regard, because I think that his speed was an advantage in the first fight. And he might be sacrificing some of that. I will say he might be getting some power or something, like he think he can stop Joshua. That's also a possibility. But in my opinion, I wouldn't want to see him bulk up, and that's what he's doing for this fight.
Yeah, I'm thinking on my look is on both fighters getting better. You know what I'm saying? And how much better can because one guy got to change his style, got to adapt to a whole new zone. You know what I'm saying? The zone of punches in unfamiliar territory, basically. And another guy really don't have to. You know what I'm saying? Because he can do it all. You know what I'm saying? He can do it all. Just that he's not the bigger guy in this fight. Understandable. The other guy might only take one punch from him in this fight, but his defense is respected. You know what I'm saying? Him knowing how to handle himself and keep and control the distance. Those type of things be the key things. AJ can't do that. You know what I'm saying? When it do get down to him breathing hard and gonna need to work on that jab to keep this motherfucker, you know what I'm saying, at bay or you know what I'm saying, in check, he ain't gonna have that. You know what I'm saying? He ain't gonna have that. But Usyk will. You know what I'm saying? When it all comes down to it, when both guys gassed out and they both still standing, you know what I'm saying? I don't see AJ having the same tools that Usyk gonna have. You know what I mean? Just instincts, basic instincts to get back and calm down and control the fight. You know what I mean?
Yeah,
It's
for
just gonna
me,
be a brawl with AJ.
yeah, when I look at like the fight, I don't think that the separation in the first fight is as great as a lot of people think it is. Even when I said like in the first fight, I thought they stopped the fight early because Usyk was about to stop AJ. When I looked at that shit again, he wasn't about to stop AJ. AJ was trying to bob and weave and slip the shots, and then he ended up sitting on the ropes and sticking his tongue out at the motherfucker showing bravado. So when I went back and looked at this fight again, I started seeing shit a little bit differently. You know what I'm saying? Like the scope cards was like 115 or 111 or some shit like that. Like it ain't like he was winning 11 rounds to 1 or some shit. You know what I'm saying? It was a little bit closer than that. And I think AJ just has to do a couple of extra things to turn things his direction. Like if he goes to the body with that 4 and come upstairs with that 3, that right there alone is gonna make a big difference in this fight because that's something that he wasn't doing in the first fight. And Usyk is gonna have to adjust to that. And I think that somebody like Robert Garcia, he the type of person that's gonna look at the film, and I think that he can come up with a good game plan. And I think it's gonna involve going to the body because if you look at the first fight, the man did not go to the body at all hardly. It was very rare that he went to the body. And I think that one change right there can turn this fight around for this motherfucker. And I also got to say too, AJ is a fucking 5 on the pedigree scale, at least a 4.5 because he won silver in the AIBA World Championships. He got knocked out in the championship round by the gold medalist, but you know that motherfucker got a little pedigree behind him, and plus he done showed me already in one rematch at least that when he goes into a rematch, he take it seriously. He try to make the adjustments. He'll lose weight and cut muscle if he have to, and he'll come back with a better effort. So I just think that the familiarity, that's going to be for both fighters, but I think AJ going to come back differently. So I think it's more of an advantage for him. And also the motivation. I think that the motivation is going to be on Joshua's side. You know what I'm saying? So I'm leaning toward Joshua, man, to come back and win this shit in the reap, man.
Shit, pick him. Let me serve you that crow. Hey, but look, this motherfucker pedigree, he already quit though. This motherfucker actually didn't want no more. You know what I'm saying? So that right there, we done seen that before. And then on the rematch, it more catered to he was favoring to go distance to get the knowing that he was gonna get the score. So I can't count him as being no motherfucking 4 or 5 like he's some dog because we done seen him quit and we seen him rely on the scorecards.
Pedigree don't have nothing to do with dog though. Like my pedigree scale don't have nothing to do with dog.
Because you did you said that about the rematch and what other analogy you used? That's what made me think that though. But I don't think that you know what I'm saying. When it comes down to it, he ain't got that in him. He definitely will quit if he get too tired or feel like he getting embarrassed. You know what I'm saying? And he definitely will have a game plan to cater to the judges, knowing that if it go the distance and he's still standing, he gonna get it. You know what I'm saying? Those two things that a motherfucker done seen up out of him for sure. That he ain't as tough as motherfuckers portray him to be. So if she get heat in that ring, you know what I'm saying? We already know that what we might see. We can't be shocked that he quit again because it's gonna be the second time.
And that's the biggest question. What the breakdown that you gave, Trey, is definitely some things that he can do, but a lot of that requires determination, dog, and heart, and that's something we haven't seen from Joshua in quite some time. When it gets tough, can he bite down and get the job done and do the things he needs to do to get the win? And I haven't seen that type of tenacity from him since the Klitschko fight. That was forever ago. So he gonna have to channel some of that in order for him to pull this off because that particular style it requires a person with a lot of dog, a lot of heart, a lot of tenacity, and a lot of determination. You know, you can't implement those kind of tactics. You know what I'm saying? And because he's gonna get hit. Is what is he gonna do when he gets hit? When he gets hit with a good clean shot, what is Joshua gonna do? And we've seen when he gets hit with good shots,
He like
he
to get
don't respond. Yeah, he don't respond well. So that's gonna be the telltale sign, you know, whether or not he's mentally gonna have the fortitude to be able to do what he needs to do in there to get the victory.
I understand y'all points, but he actually had an opportunity to quit against Usyk. In the first round, Usyk hurt him. He hit him with a hard left hand and made Joshua do the stanky leg. He had an opportunity to quit then, but he steadied the ship. He tried to come back with something at the end of the round. and he got back into the chess match. And then, like I said, towards the middle of the rounds, he started figuring Usyk out. That's the number one thing that's on my mind, is that I literally saw him figure Usyk out. And then, but I left out a part. Usyk caught his second win in the 10th round. And when Usyk caught his second win, the feints started getting faster again. His feet started getting faster again. And he caught his second win, but Joshua didn't. So coming down the stretch in the championship rounds, he did a number on Joshua pretty good, whooped his ass. You know what I'm saying? But in the mid rounds, I literally saw Joshua figure this guy out. Like if I'm Joshua and I'm going into this fight, I'm feeling pretty good about my chances. And the odds makers ain't calling this no sweep either. The odds makers have Usyk only a 2-1 favorite. It ain't like he a 10-1 favorite out here. So the odds makers see something out here too. And plus Joshua got the politics on the side. I feel like boxing the money, I feel like the money wants Joshua to win. I feel like it's more money to be made with Joshua than Usyk. And then they'll have a story behind it and shit. They can say that he a 3-time champion and all this kind of stuff. You know how they do. So I think he got that in his favor too.
Yeah, it's all kind of angles that's in his favor. You know what I'm saying? If it's a close fight, you can count on it being going to him. Things of that nature, because he do put ashes in the seats. You know what I'm saying? So you know how boxing do. Eric R
But
said,
hey, I want to say one last thing. One thing that is kind of on my mind is that the all the stuff that's going on with the Ukraine. Would it be a bad look for one of they superstars to get his ass whooped and lose a fight, or would it be a better, like, I don't know. I can't explain what I'm trying to say. Like let me give you an example. When 9/11 happened, right, and the Patriots went to the Super Bowl against the Rams, I thought the Patriots was gonna win just because of 9/11. I was like, man, is this a time for a team called the Patriots to go out there and lose after we just had 9/11? I was like, man, just based on their name, I feel like they should win this game. And I was looking at that with this fight, like it's a big thing that's going on in the world with the Ukraine. And they got one of their representatives in this fight. Is this a time for a Ukrainian fighter to lose on a big stage? So that's like a conflict that I'm dealing with too. But I think I'm gonna ride with the money and all that kind of shit. I might have to take Joshua, man.
Hey Trey, just based upon that that what you put out just now, I gotta go with Usyk.
Yeah, I was thinking
I
about
don't think he gonna go in there. I think he gonna put it all on the line when he get up in there. Eric R said, "What up to the panel? D Race it.
it.
Say
Salute to my boy Eric Carr, man.
when Lee said AB was begging for a date and pulled out. He said, bro will have a ski mask on soon. Yep, sticking up 7-Elevens. Let me get a whole pizza, some big dog, and 4 Slurpees.
That nigga AB, man.
Man, MZ say, it's so hard to say goodbye. Talking about to AB. Dilo 44 said all that it talking about Espinoza and Heyman, then had to pull out. Said motherfucker better stop banking on I'm already a Hall of Famer. Gotta work and stay disciplined in this craft. Yeah, man, he been disrespecting Al Heyman and Espinoza, putting smut on him, and then turn around and they still trying to pay him. He can't even get right. Eric
I'm just trying to figure out where is he getting that he a Hall of Famer from though? Because he was a champion in 4 weight classes. I mean, that's all it requires. Like you could go win four vacant belts in 4 different weight classes, and that put you in the Hall of Fame or some shit. You know what I'm saying? Like when we think about Adrien Broner's career, what are his best victories? You know what I'm saying? Like I can't even think of no best victories for this motherfucker. Only one I can think of is the one that I bet on him. I bet on him against that guy at 140. Alec something. I can't remember. It was one of them Eastern Europeans. He was a southpaw. Hell, that was the best win that I can think of. I can't even remember the dude's name. Who the best wins? Antonio DeMarco, that's his best win? That's going to put you in the Hall of Fame? Like, man, this man is delusional.
fought Hall of Famer though, so I
He
don't know.
fought, but he lost to the motherfucker. You at least got to beat one. Pacquiao. What other Hall of Famer he fought?
No, that's the only one.
Right.
That's why I said
He could have
Hall of
he
Famer.
could have beat he could have beat Mikey. He could have beat Madonna. He could have beat Pacquiao. Like all those fights were fights he could have won.
Yeah,
I'm gonna say no to the Hall of Fame.
yeah. I'm gonna say he could have been in the Hall of Fame with the resume he got. He just took them L's. Eric R said Broner could make a unstop could make a untop that's an untappable lane.
An
He said
untapped
fight
lane.
yeah untapped lane. He said fight media personality. He said he need not to mess with Brian Custer though. D'Lo say Peterson
Yeah.
entered the fight contemplating retirement as the fight war on Lipinets unsheared.
Ushered them right into that shit. Goddamn me.
Uh, of D'Lo. D'Lo said the motherfucker who put the fight on didn't even want to claim that event.
Mm,
Ran from it. DT say Broner had CTE.
man.
That's official. Oh, he just saying that because
No,
of the
you
way.
just saying that shit because the man act crazy and erratic as a motherfucker.
Yeah. D'Lo say that's the same way. He said that's the same way I looked at Velez versus Ferreira. He said and fucked off my pick too.
Yeah, man, that hurt.
D'Lo say no. Broner has CGR, whatever that is.
Can't get right.
He said Robert Delaney check. Roddick said that.
Oh yeah, that's a good point that he just brought up though. Just saying, Robert, what y'all think about Wilder versus Robert Helenius in his first fight back? That's what I've been hearing.
Shit, it's a good ass fight. It's a dangerous fight from Wilder, right?
I think it's dangerous as a motherfucker too, coming off a layoff and coming off a knockout defeat, and then you go right up in there with the Nordic Nightmare.
Yeah, Laney has got some momentum. You know, he's got some momentum, and he sparred Wilder. You know, he got Wilder ready for Fury 3. So it's a lot of familiarity there. Um, I can see why they would want to make that fight, but you know, that might be a little bit too much for someone to try to take on a layoff, especially in a guy who's got some momentum like him. So
I
we'll
think so
see.
too. That's like a mirror for Wilder almost, where you got that tall, slender guy that got strong, straight punches. You know what I'm saying? I mean, that kind of guy can catch you with something.
Roddick
So
said, I think I'm 12. Yeah, you 12.
yeah, he got my spot.
Definitely holding it down. D'Lo say, I think Garcia may help AJ get KO. Yeah, we're gonna be locked in. D'Lo say, don't forget how the first Usyk and AJ fight ended. AJ was saved by the early bell in the 12th, literally.
Yeah, that's why I said I thought that at first, but when I went to watch it again, that's not what I saw.
I
D'Lo
mean,
also said, go ahead, what you say?
yeah, a lot of that's going to depend on what Usyk weighs at. You know, that's when you're really going to know what kind of advantages or disadvantages you're going to have coming into this rematch, as far as from a physical standpoint.
And then D'Lo say, maybe AJ is scared to jump on him because jumping on Andy did him in.
It was kind
Everything.
of late. It was kind of late in the fight. That's why I say it was probably like round 8 or some shit like that when he caught him with that right hand to the body and he came back and stared with the left hook. You know what I'm saying? So he might not have had the energy to jump on that motherfucker. I think he need to come back in better shape in this fight for sure. You got to be able to fight 12 hard rounds to win this fight. You know what I'm saying? And then at the same time, like we keep on saying, like about the style. In my opinion, like when you go against somebody that's kind of tricky, your first time be your worst time. Like when you go against somebody that's tricky and you start to figure them out, when you come back and get in the ring with them again, it don't be as tricky. Like if you done seen a motherfucker doing a bunch of feints and all that kind of shit, he can't surprise you with that. Because like when AJ on the outside of the ring and he looking at UC, he thinking, well, that shit not that, it don't look that bad. But then once he get in front of it, he like, oh shit, like I can't even see this guy. When he come back again, it's not gonna be quite as impressive. That don't mean that he guaranteed to win, of course, but I'm just saying when he come back, I don't think his eyes are gonna be quite as big looking at Usyk with all his feints, especially if Usyk is gonna be a slowed down version of himself because he bulking up.
Derek Bailey, salute, bro. He said salute, Treads, D-Lo,
Who said that?
Derek Bailey.
Oh, I still got your crow in the refrigerator for your Blair Cobbs and Maurice Hooker. I still got some for Charles D and Big Boys boxing. I saved y'all the plate. Yeah, don't act like I don't come in here and be serving that crow with these picks now. But I will say I mainly eat crow on the rematches. But normally I just pick the guy who won the first time. I put a little bit more analysis into this one, so we'll see.
Jose Siciliano, salute, fam. He said salute to the corner, checking in. He said the Farmer and Broner fight is just a headache. He said, do these fellas want to fight or not? Bad look for the sport.
Yeah, man, I ain't never seen a boxer that don't want to box.
Motherfucker, a boxer like Broner, man, that motherfucker done got in there and got his ass kicked. You know what I'm saying? Got snot knocked all out his motherfucking face, man.
Who you say that?
Broner done been fucked up being in that ring, man. Embarrassed.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? Thinking that he the next Mayweather. You know what I'm saying?
Well,
Thinking that he was the next Mayweather, man. Got showed up.
Yeah, he's standing in the middle of the ring with a damn shoulder roll, and forget that the nigga, you got to roll with it.
He took some pretty good ass with him. D'Lo said Usyk is a little different due to his extensive time spent trying with Jamal Ali Brochure, who was Stewart's right hand man for years. I ain't know Usyk trained with him.
I mean,
Yeah,
neither.
yeah, he trained with Bashir. Matter of fact, when AJ was looking for trainers, I was hoping he would. I mean, the first fight, I was hoping he would get down with Bashir, but he didn't. Um, just from a tactical standpoint, he knows a lot of Usyk's weaknesses and strengths that he could really bring to the table. So that's what I was hoping he would go with.
Eric R said, I think he's trying to say Trez can convince him out of any pick. He
What
said
he say?
Trez as can you out of any picks? I'm convinced. So I think he's saying he can convince you out of any picks. He convinced.
Don't let me convince you too much, man, because I do want to serve some crow. I don't want you to ride with me on everything now.
The spirit of justice said AJ could have had Ronnie Shields, but didn't want to leave the UK. So Garcia went to the UK.
Yeah.
Yeah, Garcia went to the UK.
He said he been over there for like 2 months or something like that. And Mikey Garcia and different people been going over there supporting the camp.
D'Lo said the acclimation period with a new trainer as well goes against AJ, in his opinion.
I agree with y'all, but to me, the adjustment is a simplified version of what like what you would think of as an adjustment. You know what I'm saying? Like we literally talking about more aggression and going to the body and shit. I don't really even think that it take a long time to adjust to that. Like it's a choice that you making. You know what I'm saying? Like you gonna get hit regardless. Like in the first fight, you didn't do these things, you got hit anyway. So you might as well. You might as well be rough and go to the body. You know what I'm saying? Like I know we've been talking about mauling the guy and shit like that. It might not even necessarily take all that because I don't think that Jasora, I don't think he mauled Usyk. I think he just was first on Usyk. See, that's one thing about Usyk, man. Usyk gonna do all this feints and shit, and he gonna mesmerize you. And then he the one that's first. When it comes to a style like that, you must be first. Like when Lomachenko fought against Salido was first. Instead of him reacting to Lomachenko, he made Lomachenko start to react to him and make it a two-way street. You know what I'm saying? When that first fight with AJ and Usyk, he let Usyk dictate the terms. He has to come back in the second fight and be first and make Usyk react to him. And I think that that's really simple. So I don't really think that the acclimation is as much of a factor in this fight as I would say in other fights. But I do agree with you overall that if this is your first fight with a new trainer, it can't be a good thing. You know what I'm saying? It has to be a detriment.
Hey, why don't fighters throw jab at the feint? Like even if it ain't a scoring jab, you know what I'm saying? Wouldn't you think that'll throw a fighter off his rhythm too, especially if you touch him, right? Like I
I
don't be
mean,
seeing I be seeing a lot of them motherfuckers back up and like or when they flinch, they going up to the guard, right? Putting both fist up to the guard. I don't see them actually like stepping back with a jab. You feel what I'm saying? Like Ali type shit. Ali, that's what Ali do. That motherfucker, his hands stay moving, stay working. Motherfucker flinch, he throwing a jab and he backing up. He stand on his toes. You feel me? Like his reaction, if a motherfucker coming at him, he is to throw something. You feel what I mean?
I
Like he,
understand that if you look at Wild, my bad for cutting you off. But if you look at Wilder versus Fury in the first fight, that's what Wilder was doing. Fury would be fading him and shit, and Wilder would step back and stop his momentum with a jab. But that's going against an orthodox fighter, though. When you're going against these southpaws like Usyk and Lomachenko, your jab is not going to be as effective. Like your jab is like 70% of its effectiveness. They'll start countering that shit. As a matter of fact, Joshua would jab when Usyk would be feigning, and there would be times he would catch counter left hands from Usyk. So that made him not want to do that as much. You know what I'm saying? It's a little bit trickier when you're going against some southpaw that's fainting as opposed to going against an orthodox fighter that's fainting. You know what I'm saying?
yeah, but or even a straight right hand, right? Like motherfucker says you fighting a southpaw and he go to flinch. You that's the quickest thing to get to. That's the reason why the straight left, straight right works versus the southpaw, not the jab, because the straight is the
And
quickest way to get to him, right?
and what you're saying right there is what Joshua was not doing when Usyk would do his little jab of front feint off the front foot, and he would move his head to the side. You know what I'm saying? Every time his head was right on the center line for a straight right, and Joshua would not pull the trigger on him.
Yeah, that's what I be thinking. Like, why? Like that's science. If you ask, like if your jab is taken away and another weapon is presented, you could even use that. You know what I'm saying? Because it come back quick too. It come back just as good as the jab versus the southpaw. You know what I'm saying? So I don't like instead of just your reaction just to throw you off, you should be trying to throw him off. You know what I'm saying? Instead of being in defense or in the shell, like most fighters do, they always go back to the high guard when they see a feint, or they stop in their tracks from trying to take that extra step. It's either those two things that happen. You know what I mean?
But yeah, Usyk was doing it over and over again with that foot feint off his lead foot. He was doing it over and over again, and his head was always on the center line. He was so comfortable doing it because there was nothing coming back, and it was right there for him to get hit with straight rights.
Well, this is another thing. I mean, Joshua, uh, he ain't really got a lot of experience with southpaws. You know what I'm saying? Like the southpaw, the last southpaw I remember him fighting is Charles Martin, and they only went 2 rounds. So even though he got experience against him, he didn't get that many rounds. And he actually got stopped by a southpaw in the amateurs. He got knocked out by a southpaw. Maha Kyongong or some shit like that. I can't remember his name exactly, but I know he knocked out Joshua, you know what I'm saying? And when I looked at Joshua against Usyk in the first fight, I could tell that he wasn't just comfortable being against a southpaw. You know what I'm saying? So that's why I think like him going 12 rounds against that, I think that could actually help him be more familiar with this type of style that he's dealing with. And I think that Robert Garcia could help him with the basics of fighting against a southpaw. You know what I'm saying? Because he done had some fighters that fought southpaws like Jose Ramirez going against Josh Taylor, for example. You know what I'm saying? And I think that Ramirez did a very good job going against that southpaw stance. He was leading with the right hand, coming back with the hook. Yeah, he did some good work on my boy Taylor. That Marlowe scored the fight 114 to 112. You know what I'm saying? And you know Garcia, he done been around the block a million times. You know what I'm saying? He done seen it all. He done been a champion and stuff like that. So I really do. I think that he can help him with his approach against the southpaw.
I thought he stopped Ramirez.
Huh?
I said I thought he stopped Ramirez.
Who?
Taylor.
No, you know he dropped him and stuff, but they went 12. Matter of fact, Ramirez won the last 2 rounds. And we had it 6-6, but the 2 knockdowns made it 114 to 112.
Yeah, I remember now that you said it. I just thinking about my head like, damn, I thought he stopped.
We'll see though, man. Joshua got to go out there and do it. I mean, I'm sitting up here with a lot of philosophical stuff. Y'all are saying a lot of stuff that's already taken place. You know what I'm saying? So the motherfucker got to go out there and do it. It is what it is.
Yeah, we're gonna see which one. Eric R said they better have AJ doing cross country. Get that gas tank ready. Hell yeah. Eric Bailey said,
So
how much bigger is Usyk trying to get, Trey? You know?
I don't know, man, but I saw some pictures of him. He looked down there like he looked when he was in the World Series of boxing. Um, like just kind of, I can't find a word that I'm looking, but it looked like he gained about 15 pounds. You know what I'm saying? I don't know if it's gonna be a good thing, but that's part of his game plan coming into the fight, though.
yeah, that weigh-in is going to tell a lot from both guys for me from a physical standpoint. Um, it's the question I have is what does a win do for Joshua, and what if he loses? What does it do? What else is there for him if he loses this fight?
If he win, they gonna be able to blow that shit up and try to put him on the level with some of the greats because he technically be a 3-time heavyweight champion if he win. You know what I'm saying? And if he lose, I think he still got some like a career that can go on because I think it's still some big fights that people will be interested in, like the Wilder fight, United States versus Great Britain. I think people will still be interested in that, especially if he don't get knocked out. Like if he go out there and just lose by decision, I think it's gonna be some fights. But if he go out there and just get dissected and get stopped, it could be ugly.
For folks say either way the fight plays out, get ready to hear. Can't nobody beat this guy except Wilder.
Fury, what they gonna
Fury.
say? Yeah,
So D-Lo 404 said, oh my God, I certainly don't want to hear that AJ look like Ali again.
yeah.
The second fight versus what's his name, they was saying that shit. Derek Bailey said, yeah, AJ got that quit in him for real. You done seen Iceberg Ian say, Derek Bailey salute. Oh, let me get out business. Eric R said, that's what I say. Said, shit, stopped on. He said, once you quit, it gets easier every time. Yeah, I did
Once
that.
again, I understand what y'all saying, but once again, consider the fact that he did get hurt in the first round. He got hurt significantly against Usyk in the last fight, and he didn't quit. He
But he
went
didn't
all
go down.
12.
He didn't go down on the canvas. You know what I'm saying? He didn't get hit hard enough to bend the knee. Like he got the stinky leg against what's his name too, Dillian White. He got the stinky leg against a few motherfuckers.
And he didn't quit.
Yeah,
And
he did.
then and yeah, he didn't quit. And then look, the shot that he
Not to cut you off, old man off the couch, put him down too.
he didn't
Let's go.
quit. And he didn't quit. And the shot that he took against Ruiz, high on the head, like towards the temple, a lot of fighters would have got fucked up and had their balance fucked off and got stopped. You know what I'm saying? So we can think of several times that he got hurt in fights and didn't quit. And we can think of one time in the fight that he got hurt, balance fucked up, hit like on the temple area, high on the head, and we say that he quit. I don't think that's enough evidence to say that he's a quitter. That's just my opinion, though. Everybody can have their own opinion.
Yeah,
That's why we serve crow and eat crow.
right.
I'm just putting my thoughts out there. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah. The reason why I say it because no fighter want to quit in the ring. That's like a motto. You know what I'm saying? That's like a thing. You know what I'm saying? Ain't no quit. You know what I mean? So I didn't think that you know what I mean, overlooking that one time. Like yeah, he did it a few times. But that one time makes you think that you would do it again. You know what I'm saying? Not like he do it all the time, but he done did it before, so it wouldn't be a surprise. You know what I'm saying? If he do it again, if shit gets sticky.
And we can say the same thing about Roberto Duran. He quit against Sugar Ray Leonard, but he went on to accomplish some great shit. I
Yeah,
know he ain't.
but that motherfucker was. I learned later that motherfucker was over there drinking beer and all kind of shit. Like he wasn't in no shape, and they offered him a significant amount of money he couldn't pass up. So he was hella out of shape. You know what I'm saying? So I ain't trying to use it as no excuse, but
Yeah, quitting is quitting though.
yeah, because quitting is quitting. But I'm seeing that on a different circumstance, under a different light though. Now, you know what I mean?
I don't. If you quit and you on your feet, you ain't even hurt. It ain't like you getting beat up out here. It ain't like you got hit with a temple shot like AJ.
That
You
nigga
just
get his
quit.
body beat up though, Trey. That nigga,
Man, you quit, brother. I'm not trying to hear none of that.
Shit.
You quit.
I would have rather him go out like he did against Thomas Hearns when he just got knocked the fuck out.
yeah.
Yeah, but
Nah, I
he
said I
quit.
ain't gonna make no excuse for him, but I'm just saying though, like he should have never even took that money and took it serious. AJ was in the gym taking shit serious. You know what I'm saying? He was taking it serious for real. Motherfuckers was calling this motherfucker, you know what I'm saying? The next best thing since, you know what I mean, sliced bread.
Yeah, but he still was a big, heavy motherfucker. He ain't had the right body for boxing and shit. So, I think he still had his faults. You know what I'm saying? Just like Roberto Duran was fat and out of shape. AJ wasn't training in a way that's best for a fighter. Like he was like 260 or some shit like that. You know what I'm saying? So he's even though he was taking it seriously, he still wasn't going about it in a classic way that uh that leads to success in boxing.
Right. If they say AJ going to try and fight, AJ going to try and fight, he hears people calling him cotton soft. Lil Rock say, yo, Lil Rock, salute, fam.
Salute.
D-Lo say, Joshua got that new contract recently, so there's that. Eric
What do you
R
what do
said,
you mean by that?
well, I guess when we was talking about him being a favorite, if he could come to the judges and all that shit, like being.
Or maybe I was thinking what Joseph Brown said. What he got coming up? What he gonna do next if he lose type shit? And I thought D'Lo was saying, well, hell, he already got a new contract, so the motherfucker should be all right.
Well, maybe he is.
Yeah, that's just gonna be bad on the zone. You know what I'm saying? Because they're not even getting this fight, which is the big fight that should be on their network to help the network. You know what I'm saying? He coming off, and if he comes off another loss, how you gonna promote that? It's gonna have to be another big name he fight because his stock is gonna go down if it's not another big name. You know, so it's not looking good for the zone if he loses another fight, and he
And,
ain't even fought. He ain't even fought on that new contract on their network yet.
and that's one reason why I think that the motherfucker gonna win. Cause I'm like, damn, man, I done seen the zone be dirty already. Like they already showed me evidence that they willing to be dirty, man. Like with Triple G and shit. Like they would rob a motherfucker. So I'm just like, man, where is the zone gonna go, man? They just took a hit with Canelo, and now they about to take another hit with Joshua, like back to back type shit. Can they afford that? And that's why I'm thinking like the money, the politics. I'm thinking is behind Joshua because I think that the network is relying on that motherfucker winning this fight. I done heard this motherfucker Eddie Hearn talking about he said I want this motherfucker out of here in 6 rounds. Hey
And
man,
so
I'm just thinking, man,
it might
they
do a
might.
janky ass stop this nigga.
I was thinking that, and I was also thinking, like, I don't know how far a motherfucker go, man. I won't be surprised they slip something in that man drink or something.
You telling Usyk to watch out for the food.
Pass me that bottle, the one I mixed.
Hey
That's
man, hey, that ain't too far fetched. They got Andy fat ass. They was feeding him all kinds of tacos, burritos, pizza, whatever you want. Yes, sir, whatever you want. We got it.
And they
for
gonna get
real.
that same referee from what's that one motherfucker from New Zealand? What's my
from New
boy name?
Zealand.
Ain't that where he from? The one that the referee was jumping on his back when he was whooping AJ ass on the inside.
Oh yeah, I can't remember his name, but yeah, I know you talking about though. I forgot about that. So we can have that kind of shit going on. We didn't even think about that. I don't remember his name.
Jay Brown, you know what I'm talking about?
He was scolding that motherfucker Parker for going to the body on Joshua.
Oh yeah, I forget his name, man. Yeah, I remember
Joseph,
that. That
Joseph
that
Parker,
was
his
that
name?
was crazy. That was crazy, man. He had that man in all kinds of trouble, man.
Joseph Parker is that? I think that's his name. That's who Trey just said. I
Oh
think
yeah,
that's
Joseph Parker is the fighter. I thought you said what's the name of the referee?
It,
yeah. No, I don't know the
nah,
referee name, but I was talking about I couldn't think of Joseph Parker name.
it was it wasn't just the Parker fight. Similar shit happened. It was when AJ had fought Alexander, not Alexander, but Povetkin. When he fought Povetkin, the
Oh, that
referee was Povetkin. When he fought Povetkin, the referee was stepping in and making sure that.
so they gonna get the referee from that fight. They gonna get the judges for the PGG fight, and they gonna
Hey,
they gonna
that
have
might hey,
a
Hey,
big gumbo of some
that
big ass
that
blood.
that might be part of the reason why Usyk bulking up, man. He's like, man, I ain't gonna win this fight on the cards. I'm about to knock this dude smooth the hell out.
yeah, for real. They need to get that damn referee that's been refereeing Gary Antoine Russell and getting them damn early stoppages and shit. You know what I'm saying?
Shit, that Theo fight, that motherfucker stopped early too, man. That motherfucker, he was getting touched, but he wasn't out of it.
Oh yeah, it was pretty quick.
Uh,
What
D'Lo,
round was that? Was that KO7?
yep, KO7.
I had damn KO6 in that shit. I missed two fucking knockouts by one round.
Man, I had KO6 too. Eric R said, I know what y'all talking about. He said, I know what you're talking about off that statement, Trey Hicks. He said, that would come to mind when Bivol beat Canelo to me.
Yeah, I don't even remember what the brother talked what I said, man.
D'Lo said, Partly and DeMarco. Oh, they Hall of Famers?
No, they saying the best wins for Broner.
Oh, Gil Cole's back up in the building. He said, salute to the corner. Salute, bro.
Salute, bro.
Eric R
Hey,
says, Ashley Theo fame.
hey,
Yeah,
that'd
that
be
was
the
a good
crazy
performance.
part. That'd be the crazy part too. Can none of these folks who talking about he deserved to be in the Hall of Fame tell you his five best wins?
Yeah, that's my problem.
The chat for me real quick. Go get something to drink.
Yeah, yeah.
I was
Uh
like, Eric R, LOL. D-Lo say, at least, he said,
yeah,
at
at
least,
least be one. He talking about the Hall of Famers.
yeah.
Yeah, at least beat one of the motherfuckers. Yeah, we got to beat somebody. But that Ashley Theophane, that was a impressive performance, but it wasn't a high caliber opponent though. You know what I'm saying? He like what a C-level fighter. D'Lo said Broner still made me proud how he finished that Madonna fight, but I never saw that again. Yeah, he did finish the fight like a G, and at the same time, Broner ain't never been stopped. That's also put that on his resume. I mean, he don't let his hands go enough and all that kind of shit, but the man is tough, and ain't nobody stopped him before. He done been in the ring with some good fighters now. He done been in there with Sean Porter. He been in there with Pacquiao, uh, Jesse Vargas, Mikey Garcia, different fighters. Ain't nobody stopped that motherfucker, man. That's why I still fuck with him a little bit. I ain't gonna pick him no more, but he is the can, man. Anybody
Hey,
can get it.
Mike Donna didn't stop that nigga?
Hell no, he went the
Nah,
distance,
he went the
nigga.
distance. He went the distance with Maidana. Was actually doing pretty good the second half of the fight.
Exactly. He closed the fight strong.
Yeah, he did. Yeah, he
Yeah,
did. But that was a
yeah,
tough ass fight for him, though. That was some shit right there for Roman. He stepped in some boo boo with that fight.
yeah. That was tough on the motherfucker. Pagos Bill said they trained together. I don't know who you talking about. Eric Carr talking about, yeah, can't get right. D'Lo said Wild is coming off two knockout losses, and Helene, hold on, Wild is coming off two knockout losses, and Helenius is coming off two knockout wins. But Helenius did get knocked out by the ex-football player. You talking about Gerald Washington? Yeah, I think Wilder should be the favorite in the fight, but just your first fight, coming back from getting stopped and coming off a layoff, I just think that Helenius might be a tough fighter, but that's why we respect Wilder though. He'll get out there, and that's why we respect the PBC side. They put you in tough. Hell, I can't think of too many fighters the PBC don't put you in tough. You know what I'm saying? They don't give a fuck if you're coming off a layoff or not.
And
D'Lo said styles make fights. Yep.
they put you in tough early too.
Oh yeah.
Early.
Yeah. D'Lo said, what if Usyk beat AJ by dialing up a 6.5 in the first fight? What if Usyk beat AJ by dialing up a 6.5 in the what the hell did that mean? I don't know what that means, bro. Jose Siciliano said your thoughts on the Ergovich versus Zane fight coming up, man. That's that fight right there. I've been going back and forth on that fight in my mind, man. I don't want to get motherfucker Sean Ross pick. But I will say, you know what, this is what I'm gonna do with the Sean Ross picks. I'm gonna tell y'all who I think gonna win, but I ain't gonna go with the method of victory. You know what I'm saying? But I gotta go with Ergovich though. He the younger guy. This motherfucker Zane like 40, man, and his gas tank ain't the best. The fight that I saw him go the distance with the draw against Jerry Forrest, man, motherfucker Zane was tired out there, man. He was one of the most tired fighters that I've seen in a long time. The man couldn't do nothing but hold, man. Just grab the motherfucker, just hold him, man. You know what I'm saying? And just look at the clock. Hold him, man, and look at the clock. But he is dangerous, though. He got dynamite in that left hand, man. He hit you with the right hook. He hit you with the left hand, the right hook. He could fuck you up. You know what I'm saying? He got the amateur pedigree and shit. That motherfucker have been in the Olympics and medaled. The AIBAs. He one of them 4.5 star motherfuckers on the pedigree scale. And he going against another like 4.5. I say he might be a 5 actually, now that I'm sitting up here thinking. He at least a 4.5 or a 5. But Ergovich though, man, Ergovich is different. And I done already seen him knock out a southpaw in the amateurs. He knocked out Lenier Perro, the damn Cuban fighter that got 6 wins over Frank Sanchez. He got knocked out in the Olympics against Ergovich. But I got to give props to that motherfucker, Lenier Perro, man, because he tried to continue the fight. He took a right hand, man, that was lethal looking. And he tried to get up and sell it to the referee that shit, everything all right. And the referee was like, oh, hell no. The ref called it off, who's the boss, you know what I'm saying? But this dude, Ergovich, is tough, man. He got a strong ass punch. I think he is a heavyweight, I guess, contender, prospect or whatever of the highest degree. And I think that he's going to go out here and beat this guy, Zane. But, by being a closed guard fight, Zane being a southpaw going against the orthodox fighter, that's going to put in an element of chess. That's one thing that I've noticed about boxing. Like the time I've known about southpaw and orthodox is that it's always going to be a little bit of a chess match. You know what I'm saying? So I think that the chess match could make the fight go deep. You know what I'm saying? It could go the distance, or it could be a late stoppage for Ergovich. Maybe like knockout at 9 or some shit like that. You know what I'm saying? But at the same time, it might go the distance. And it could be an Ergovich win by decision. I think that's possible. But looking at the gas tank and shit for Zane, I don't know. We'll just see if he can hold that motherfucker all day. But I'm looking at Ergovich for the win, though. Derek Bailey said, nah, Trey, I changed my pick and went with Blair Cos. Oh, you smarting up at the last minute, huh? I sure had your plate waiting on your ass, boy. D'Lo said AJ did work with Bashir briefly before hiring Ryan Garcia. Not sure if he brought him back into camp after the fight was on again. All right. Eric Carr said, what AB think gonna happen when you doing a shoulder roll with his torso and Van Dam splits with his legs? Yeah, that's what I kept on saying too. You spread your feet too wide, and then you leaning back with the shoulder roll. You're leaning back so much, it damn near look like you're looking at the ceiling. You know what I'm saying? And you're not counting shit. So yeah, man, if they ain't gonna be countering off the shoulder roll, just leave the shit alone. All the greats that we know with the shoulder roll, they countered off that shit, from Mayweather to James Toney to the mayor of South Philadelphia, George Benton. All the motherfuckers countered off the shoulder roll. They got some people that's coming out now that's trying to put the shoulder roll down. they got people from other countries doing the shoulder roll, like that Magomed Kurbanov. He got a pretty decent little shoulder roll, and he tried to counter off the shit, and he mixed some legs in with it too. He don't just stand in front of you and lean back with it. He tried to put some mobility with the shoulder roll. So his shit is all right. And they got another guy, I think he from the Dominican Republic. He a Southpaw. I can't remember his fucking name. He just fought like 2 weeks ago or something like that. But he had a pretty nice shoulder roll too. So it's a couple of people that's trying to put it down the way it's supposed to be put down. D'Lo said, man, them Garcia just wanted to go to the UK for something strange, goddamn. Rod S. the champ said, I'm number 1 in the KO tracker, said he putting it down on the props. I'm about to come back with something, man. I don't like you being in my spot. If I would have just made the damn Ferrer pick and got them 17 points for the majority decision, I'd be sitting in 12. Looking on the outside, looking into the top 10. But you know, you study long and you study wrong. So I gotta pay for it. D'Lo said Witherspoon was getting his lumps in on Usyk too, but he entered the fight needing snaps on the petrol. He entered the damn fight needing snaps on the petrol. I don't really remember that fight, bro. I'm gonna have to go back and check out that one again. It's been a while.
I did. I remember that fight. Witherspoon did have a lot of good moments as far as he was establishing lead foot on the outside. He was doing things that you're supposed to do when you're fighting a southpaw. The problem is he didn't have enough of a training camp. It was a last minute replacement, and it showed. He didn't have the conditioning. You know, he started off well. Usyk was having problems with him, especially early on, and he just ran out of gas, man. It's just one of them things. He didn't have a proper training camp. Shout out to him. He got in there, but he was doing some things that was giving Usyk problems just because from a tactical standpoint, he knew how to fight a southpaw.
Yeah, I also noticed, like, when I looked at Chisora when he fought against Usyk, I think Usyk was being thrown off because it wasn't a lot of science with Chisora. Chisora, he'll be squared up and shit. If you got a scientific type of fighter like Usyk, he want to know what stance you in and all this kind of stuff, so he can plan his moves accordingly. But if you in there squared up and all kind of shit, man, you can throw the motherfucker off a little bit. And I think that's what happened. It's like if you're playing poker. Like if you play a motherfucker that play by the book, it's kind of easy to play them. Like whenever they betting and raising, they got a good hand. But when you play somebody that they call a loose aggressive player, them motherfucker have anything. You can't even put them on the hand, you know what I'm saying? Because you know they might be sitting over there with 9-3 offsuit and got a full house on your ass and in a triple raised pot and shit. You know what I'm saying? And I think that's the kind of approach that you got to take with a scientific type of motherfucker in poker or in boxing. You know what I'm saying? Don't go with that motherfucker with skill for skill. If you're a master chess player, how you gonna beat them in chess? You can't do that shit for the most part. You know what I'm saying? So you have to do something different and come in an unorthodox type of way. I think you can have an advantage with that. You know what I'm saying? And I done already seen it because I saw it. Like I said, I saw it with Salido versus Lomachenko, and I saw it with Derek Chisora versus Usyk. I done seen this shit already. Even though they went 1-1, hell, I was about to say that even though they lost both fights, hell, they went 1-1 against that Papachenko style with that aggression, throwing caution to the wind type of style. D'Lo said because of concern that it's easy to counter over the jab if you are feinting and not committed to a shot. At least that's what I always thought. Because of concern that it's easy to counter over the jab if you are feinting and not committed to a shot. Yeah, but Marlo was talking about using the jab as a defense for the other guy's feints, though. You know what I'm saying? He wasn't really talking about feinting while he jabbed. D'Lo said AJ doesn't disguise his shots as well as he used to, so I was not surprised to see him neglect so many openings versus Usyk. I think he was just concentrating on the headshots too much. He was looking at this guy with all this head movement. He forgetting that you can move your head, but you can't just move your body like that. In order to avoid a body shot, you got to do it like what George Foreman said. You got to move your whole body out the way. You can't just move being at the waist. Well, not being at the waist, but you know what I'm saying. Bob and weave, head side to side type of movement. That's not going to be enough for body work. You know what I'm saying? So when the motherfucker doing all that, man, he needs to concentrate on going to the body. Like, I think that it's a chance that he can get down in this fight. I think he needs to take like a Errol Spence versus Kell Brook type of approach in this fight. You know what I'm saying? Because I felt like Kell Brook was doing good work early in that fight, but Earl Spence was still making deposits. He was depositing stiff jabs and he was depositing body shots. Even if he losing a round, he's still making his deposits. I think that's what AJ needs to do. Even if Usyk is out there doing his feints and doing all of this razzle-dazzle looking shit, make your deposits on that motherfucker. Don't let him get nothing for free out here. Make that motherfucker take something back to his corner. And if you have a size advantage, that's when you show a motherfucker that you got a size advantage. You go to the body with that looping right hand. You hit him so hard that you make the motherfucker have to take a step to the right because you done knocked him off balance because you so much stronger than him. I didn't see none of the first fight, and I want to see some of that in the second fight. I swear to God, man, if I had AJ stature, I'd whoop Usyk. That motherfucker Usyk started fighting when he was 15. And I know that he a 5 on the pedigree scale. He a special fighter to the highest degree, but he still started when he was 15. I know a lot of y'all don't even register in y'all mind that means anything. But I want to tell y'all something. I saw an interview not that long ago with Cool Boy Steph. He started fighting when he was 12, and he said that he wished he would have started earlier. So obviously that shit means something. That a man that's a unified champion, 75-15 amateur record. This man said he wished he would have started when he was started when he was younger.
Well, he better leave. He better leave Inoue alone. He better stop mentioning him, because that's something he ain't gonna want.
Man, he'll whoop Inoue ass. He'll whoop his motherfucking ass. I know it will. I done already seen what beat Inoue. Go back and watch is it Roniel Iglesias? I gotta go find that name. It's a Cuban fighter that beat Inoue twice in the amateurs. Just went out there and straight out boxed him on the outside. Inoue don't have the best pure boxing skills. He keep his head on the line and shit. He don't have a traditional type of style. Cool Boy Steph gonna put that westernized style on his ass. Inoue don't have nobody on his resume that fight like Cool Boy Steph. He got all these Asians and all these motherfuckers. He don't have nobody that got that Americanized style. I think that Bam Rodriguez will get with that motherfucker too. I know Inoue is special, don't get me wrong, but I just feel like styles make fights, and I don't have a respect for his pure boxing skills. I done already seen him get schooled. Like, I literally saw him get schooled in a fight. And he came back, and they fought twice, actually. He came back in a rematch, and he lost again. But he did make it more competitive. So I will give him props on that. But he still went out there and got schooled. Got taken to the independent school district. Yeah, I think that motherfucker Cool Boy Steph will get on his ass. He a naturally bigger man. This man Inoue, he done fought as low as what, 112 or 108 or some shit like that. And Cool Boy Steph done fought as low as 122. And he got a frame that could go up to 130 and all that, man. I think he'll go out there and get on his ass. You know what I'm saying?
Well, I'll put 20 on the corner for that one, and I'm pretty sure I'm gonna walk away with that 20.
Just like you would have walked away with it when you wanted to take Jesse Vargas over Liam Smith, huh? You thought I forgot about that Crow. I don't forget about Crow, brother. Hey, I'm gonna teach y'all that going against me is not a winning strategy.
I saw this man live in person. I wasn't as impressed with his boxing skills.
All right, I mean, I respect your opinion. I was just disagreeing with you. You know what I'm saying? You ain't got to agree with me. I mean, you got your opinion, because I had looked at that fight differently too. You know what I'm saying? I thought you just going out there and outboxing the guy, but you felt like the score should have been a lot closer. Like, I think you said like 7-5 or some shit like that. You know what I'm saying? So, hey, I don't expect you to always see it like me, but I will say that beating me ain't easy, my brother. And that wouldn't be no rematch. You know what I'm saying? That ain't no you got action if it's a rematch. Like Joshua versus Usyk, I ain't talking as loud because it's a rematch and I normally get them wrong. But nigga, if it ain't a rematch, man, it might be hard, my brother. You also got to remember too that Inoue, he was accomplished. I give him a solid 4 on the pedigree scale. But the man was only 75-6. It ain't like he got 200-300 amateur fights and shit like a lot of these other fighters do. You know what I'm saying? So you got 75-15 in America going against 75-6. I mean, And naturally bigger man. I don't know, man. You better get ready, brother. If they do fight.
Hey, shoot, I want to see it. I want to see it. Don't
Hey,
get me
that'd be a
wrong. I
good
want to
fight.
see it.
It'd be a great fight, man. And another thing too, man, I gotta say, I love they fucking gym, man. Cool boy stuff in the Ennis gym, man. That motherfucking hole in the wall. It literally looked like a hole in the wall. But I just love that atmosphere and shit, man. The motherfuckers in there. Greg
Keep you
Hackett,
hungry. Keep
yeah,
you hungry.
Greg Hackett, Bozy Ennis. I think they got Ennis' brother as a trainer too. I think that's his brother. He looked like the motherfucker. He a terrible interview though. Like if you listen to his interviews, they terrible. But the rest of them guys do great interviews, especially Greg Hackett. He might be my favorite boxing mind to listen to. As a matter of fact, I like him so much, like listening to his views, that I don't listen to him too much because I don't want his views to become my views. When I come in here and I talk to y'all, man, I want y'all to hear Trey X, not my regurgitated version of what Greg Hackett said. You know what I'm saying? But I got respect for them motherfuckers. I want to go visit the gym one day, man. I swear that's one gym that I definitely want to go visit. I want to go in there and talk that shit and just be in that atmosphere, man. That shit look fun. You know what I'm saying? Jose Siciliano say good decision for Lomachenko taking a tune-up fight before going forward to bigger things. Yeah, a tune-up fight is always a good decision. You know what I'm saying? Everybody ain't gonna be like Earl Spence that's just gonna jump out there. What's up to Bruce Goals? Jose Siciliano said Haney stuck for filling his contract. Got these people thinking Lomachenko ducking. Yeah, D'Lo said AJ really got beat in the opening round of the London games by Erislandy Savon, but hey, at least he didn't get slept by him like Yoka did in the 2011 AIBAs. That motherfucker but AJ did get slept at the 2011 AIBAs though. He got slept by Southpaw in the finals in the gold medal round. That's why he got a silver. You know what I'm saying? So he got slept now. I got to go find that guy's name and I'll tell y'all what his name was. Matter of fact, I'm gonna put it in the trivia. D'Lo said AJ was never really the same after that Vlad fight, in his opinion. And D'Lo said AJ was humbled in that motherfucker. Came out talking about Wilder has too much experience and all that shit. Danny Drew, welcome to the gym. This is your first time. Said Bruce, the real historian in the house. Yeah, salute to Bruce here. Story. We got some bad historians in this community though, man. Salute to Scrapbook, Hardline, all the motherfuckers. You know what I'm saying? D'Lo said, I have heard all kind of excuses for Duran, including he had to go to the bathroom in the goddamn ring. Jose Siciliano said Klitschko took AJ's manhood in that fight, kicked him down a notch. D'Lo said, oh yeah, salute. Eric Garr said AJ was built like one of those dudes from American Gladiators, goddamn. He wasn't built like a fighter. What's up, the war zone? What's going down? Salute to you. D'Lo said AJ wasn't even supposed to get a rematch clause versus Usyk. But they knew there was a good chance he could lose. AJ wasn't even supposed to. Man, I don't even know why. Because you got that word mandatory and shit. My mind just went blank when I started reading that shit, man. You know, I ain't good with all of that shit, bro. Like my brain literally shuts down when I start seeing shit like that. He said that Italian from the Parker fight, that's the referee. D'Lo said no inside fighting. Stop that shit, Parker. Goddamn, you got to honor the contract, goddamn me. D'Lo said the ref from the Takum fight would be best to stop the fight if Usyk wobbles one bit. Yeah, that was an early stoppage for Joshua against Carlos Takam. Eric Carr said they getting a supreme team for AJ, goddamn me. Let me scroll down. D'Lo said nobody but Jamal Charlo. Nobody but Jamal Charlo. I don't know what you mean by that. D'Lo said 6.5 on the scale of 1 to 10 in terms of all his given ability. So you saying Usyk come back with a 6.5 and he'll beat AJ is what you're saying? I think that's what you're saying. Warzone said fact Zane was gas. Yeah, that motherfucker was tired as hell going against Jared Forrest, man. D'Lo said DeJour versus Parker was one of the most tired fighters I've seen in a while. He was snarling like a bison in that corner, goddamn me. Jose Siciliano said, I heard that Trey Zane lacking in stamina, clinches too much. Yeah, man. Especially in that one fight. I mean, he has went 10 rounds and shit several times. You know what I'm saying? And that's also a factor in the fight. Like neither one of the guys has ever went 12 rounds. So that makes me wonder, will they try to reserve some energy early in the fight? You know what I'm saying? So they could try to make sure that they have enough stamina to go 12 rounds if they have to. You know what I'm saying? I think that's definitely a variable. Apex Legend, what's up, bro? Says Zane wins that fight in 10 rounds. I mean, hey, I've been looking at that fight and I've been thinking about making a bet on it, but I just don't, man. I got two rules when it comes to betting on sports. In boxing, I don't go against these amateur backgrounds, and whenever I do, I pay for it. Like I took Joey Gonzalez over Isaac Dogbo. I took a 3.5 over a fucking 4 and paid for it. You know what I'm saying? So I don't like going against all of that shit. Zang is one of them type of dudes, man. Zang got a lot of amateur background, man. You know what I'm saying? He won shit in the amateur. He wasn't just there. He won shit. He was winning medals. So I'm not going against that. When it comes to making my picks, I'm gonna take Ergovich, but I'm not gonna bet on it, bro. And my other rule in betting on sports is when it comes to football, I don't bet on what I call grimy teams. And grimy teams are like the 2013 Seattle Seahawks. You know what I'm saying? Or you go back to like 2005, 2007, like the Florida Gators, the LSU Tigers, you know what I'm saying? Even Jim Harbaugh 49ers. I don't really like betting against them teams because I need them sacking my quarterback. I don't need them catching interceptions and running them holes back. I don't need you scooping and scoring. I don't need all of that in my life. I'd rather have that on my side, and then we go against some soft ass teams, you know what I'm saying, with the high flying offense and the quarterback and all of that shit. You know what I'm saying? But I want the killers. I want the hard hitters on my side though. You know what I'm saying? I want the damn 2001 Buccaneers. I want John Lynch coming down, putting a hit on the motherfucker, Simeon Rice, Warren Sapp. I want all that on my side. Derek Brooks and all that kind of shit. I need that on my side. You know what I'm saying? I know we ain't talking about football though, but I'm just saying that's when it comes to betting, that's how I be thinking. Warzone said, I finally cracked the top 5 in the channel. He in the channel Ross? I ain't even know he was in the channel Ross, man. That's another man with a target on his back, man. Right at the chance of trash, you can have 12 plays. I'm going to make a big push this week. Hey, man, y'all just make sure that y'all keep all this cocky talking. All of that kind of shit. Make sure that you stay consistent with it when I come back with something. Don't be surprised if you see me in first place next week. You know what I'm saying? Because just understand, this past week, we only had 10 fights. I hate them kind of weeks. I like when we have at least 15. This week we had 16, but thanks to Adrien Broner, we only have 14. But we're going to have to make it happen. Dito said AJ started at 18 or so himself, right? He did. He started at 18. You know what I'm saying? But I still can't, like, Usyk started at 15, but I can't give him a big advantage when it comes to when they started, but I can give him a big advantage as far as the volume. Like, we got a motherfucker that had 350 fights, 335 and 15 going against a motherfucker that had 40. Well, they say 48, but 8 of those was walkover fights. So he only was 32 and 8. He only had 40 fights. You know what I'm saying? So yeah, he got a late start in boxing his goddamn self. That's also another thing that's true about the fight that's coming up this weekend with Batir Akhmedov going against Alberto Puello. Akhmedov is an Olympian, but he started fighting when he was 18. Puello was on the Dominican national team. You know what I'm saying? I think that motherfucker got action. I know he going against an Olympian, but Puello got an earlier start in boxing. He started fighting when he was a little kid, and Akhmedov started fighting when he was 18. And I think that's going to be in favor of Puello coming into this fight this weekend. I got scared, man. I had Puello because they got Puello as an underdog, right? So I had Puello. I had my people take Puello. And then I got nervous because I was thinking, like, man, is it profitable to be betting against Olympians? Like, can I make money off of that in the long run, betting against Olympians? I said, man, fuck that shit, man. Playing abort, man. Y'all cancel that shit, man. Y'all cash them bets out, man. Yeah, we got plenty of action. We ain't got to be betting against no fucking Olympians. Eric Gar said, man, Cool Boy will beat the soy sauce out there, boy. Don't tell him nothing, man. Let him go on out there and bet
Dr.
the
Soy
gentleman 20. Yeah. Jose Siciliano said Klitschko right hand down the middle had AJ doing a snaky leg. He was never the same. Usyk had AJ questioning his skill when they fought also. I just think AJ just took the complete wrong approach against that motherfucker Usyk. But yeah, man, I had actually picked Klitschko to beat AJ and had to eat crow on that shit. I got an old school partner. Him and his wife, they love boxing. You know what I'm saying? His wife, I guess that ain't got nothing to do with nothing, but they love boxing. And they was picking AJ. Like they actually like this motherfucker. This was like, I don't even remember, back in 2017 or some shit like that. But they like AJ. And I was telling them, like, nah, man, let's ride. We need to ride with Wilder. They were like, man, I like both of them. I like AJ too. I said, man, AJ about to get his ass whooped by Klitschko. And they said, shit, I'm taking it. We taking AJ. And I went over there and watched the fight with them. You know what I'm saying? And I was looking like a genius. When Klitschko caught that motherfucker with that right hand straight down the pipe, nigga, I'm out there looking smart, the motherfucker. You know what I'm saying? And then he didn't do what he was supposed to do. He let AJ off the hook, and he let him come back with something. And to AJ's credit, he did come back with something. And I thought the fight was stopped a little prematurely by the referee, but hey, AJ got the win, and I got the crow. Jose C. Okay, I read that. Oh no, he said Usyk arms look swole. Yeah, I don't know if that's gonna be a good thing though. You know what I'm saying? When you get those swole arms, all that blood rush to your arms and shit, that ain't a good feeling when you in a fight. You know what I'm saying? I done had that feeling several times, so I know exactly what I speak of. When that blood rush to your arms, that shit sucks. You know what I'm saying? You do not feel effective at all when that shit happens. D'Lo said no. I was basically saying Usyk may have beaten AJ without getting out of third gear. Maybe he has a whole lot more that he can I don't know though. Because like I said, when I saw him get to the mid rounds, I saw his style start to deteriorate. His feints and shit didn't look the same. His head movement didn't look the same. Everything started to slow down. And that's when I saw that AJ was able to start adjusting to what he was doing. But when the 10th round came, Usyk caught his second win. And he started whooping on AJ pretty good. He started whooping his ass. You know what I'm saying? So I don't know if he got like a whole nother gear, because I done already seen him sputter a little bit. You know what I'm saying? But he did have the ability to catch a second win though. D'Lo said it doesn't matter though, because come fight night, we're going to see who is who and what is what between those two. Absolutely, man. I can't fight for the motherfuckers. Y'all can't fight for them. You know what I'm saying? And trust me, man, just think about it. I don't want to go against Usyk. That motherfucker got the amateur background and shit that I like. 5 on the pedigree scale, you know what I'm saying? But man, for right now, at least I am leaning toward Joshua. Who knows? I might change my mind, because I definitely ain't no stranger to changing my mind. But for right now, I'm thinking Joshua, man. Eric Orr said, I ain't talking. And Sean Ross said, I break 15th. Yeah, man. I can't talk too much right now. I'm in like 23rd place or some shit like that. You know what I'm saying? But hey, we all kind of bunched up together. The only thing that kind of got me down is that the woman that's in first place, I let her extend her lead. Like, she was only ahead by like 52 points, and now she ahead by like 71 points or some shit like that. I can't remember exactly, but she didn't increase her lead on my ass though. D'Lo said, can you elaborate on what a walkover fight in the amateur is for the folks in the back? A walkover fight is when you win a fight uncontested. That's why it's a big thing for, like, when you look at the amateur background, you really want to kind of go in and see like who they was beating. You know what I'm saying? Because some people, like, you can win an amateur tournament without ever having a fight. You know what I'm saying? If everybody that you were supposed to fight, if they drop out the tournament, you win that fight automatically. And that's called a walkover. You know what I'm saying? So You can't give a motherfucker no credit for a walkover. You know what I'm saying? Even though it can be kind of flattering that if like if you're a novice, for example, especially when you're a novice, and a coach look at you and be like, "Oh hell no, that's him. How old is he again? How much he weigh? Oh hell no." You know what I'm saying? You like, yeah, that motherfucker didn't want no smoke. You know what I'm saying? Um, Jose Siciliano, salute to you. He said, blessings to the corner. Keep on your grind. Stay safe. It's crazy out there. Yeah. I don't know what you mean by it's crazy, but yeah, definitely appreciate
Salute, fam. Blessings. Salute.
you. Yeah. I was gonna come back with this. I already got them trivia and shit already ready. So I'm gonna see what got going on later on in the week, like Wednesday or Thursday. Then we come back with some trivia or something. You know what I'm saying? But I already got most of the questions and shit, like I said, and it's mainly modern day boxing because go ahead, bro.
No, I was just saying we make it happen.
Yeah, I'm just trying to concentrate on the modern day boxing. I ain't gonna lie, it's some selfish reasons because I like to learn that shit, and at the same time, I like how the historians can't come complain. They can't come crying about something that I got wrong or something because they don't even know most of this shit. If you go to them damn historians and you talk to them about Pavlos and Yagan, or even the guy that's fighting next week, Matthew Bodley, they don't know nothing about them motherfuckers. So yeah, that's something for me. And at the same time, I just think that it's crazy for us to do all this boxing history. Like we could talk about Ezra Charles and we could talk about Barney Ross and Charlie Burley, but we don't even know about the fucking fighters that's fighting right now. Somebody can come and ask us a question about fighters that's fighting currently. We don't even know what the fuck to even say. So I'm like, nah, forget that, man. We're gonna start concentrating on these current fighters. And we're gonna get our game tight, you know what I'm saying? But it's 11 where I'm at. You wanna go and shut it down, bro?
Yeah,
I know you
James. Yeah, for
Yeah,
sure.
I know you said you just wanted to do an hour. But definitely appreciate y'all coming through, man. We're gonna come back with some trivia in a couple of days, so y'all be on the lookout for that. I ain't gonna do you dirty though. It's only gonna be about 40 questions. Cause that lasts about a good hour. You know what I'm saying? Maybe 60. But we're gonna come back with the fights this weekend. I know that Adrien Broner dropped out the fights, but we got some pretty good fights though. Alberto Puello versus Batir Akhmedov. We got Hector Garcia versus something Gutierrez. I can't remember his name. And a few more fights, man. Them Dominicans said they've been whooping everything moving out there. They said Devin Haney came to the gym and he got that work. Hector Garcia put them hands on him, is what they said. They said several fighters been coming to get that work. They whooping everything moving. They said if a straight cat wander into the gym, he got to go lace up. They whooping everything in that motherfucker, man. So we gonna see what they gonna do this weekend. Much love to everybody, man. I ain't gonna talk y'all to death. Salute.
Y'all already know, man. Appreciate y'all coming through, hanging out with us, man, chopping it up with us, sharing y'all opinions. You know what I'm saying, on the sport we rock with. But y'all enjoy the rest of y'all night. We'll be back this weekend. You know what I'm saying? Enjoying the fights. Y'all enjoy the rest of y'all night. Until next time, don't forget to tell them haters and trolls. Get the fuck out my gym.
You heard him.
Peace.
Yeah.